If I do this, does it work? No. What? What do you mean? Oh, oh my. Oh, God. Huh? How? How did that happen? Uh-oh. Guys? Send help? Alright, hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Scrap Mechanic with me, Spacefish. And welcome back to our cozy home that, you know, becomes fuller and fuller at the moment. We've got so much concrete stacked up here on the walls already, it's insane. And they've got a few more stacks of it in here. I'm really not sure what to do with all this concrete anymore, I'll have to say. Probably going to use that for when we finally hopefully get to build our base. But at the moment, it's just totally useless. So, well, that way, you know, it's just stacked all over the place. And as you can see, I mean, we're really running out of space in here. So, very soon time, I feel, to finally go on a bit of an expedition, search for a place to live, see what other things are on the map, what we can maybe get off the map. But first things first, I would actually like to get a few more things done. Now, as you may all remember, we did actually end up setting up our fancy little cookbot out here in the last episode. We can now make a few of those things, provided that we actually have all the mats needed. Now, as you can see, I've got a lot of tomatoes because I was actually farming around a bit in between episodes. And that said, I think that is not the only thing I have, because yes, look at that. Looks as though only 2 of them are ready at the moment, which is a bit weird, but there should be more coming in just a second. But as you can see right here, planted some red beets, and they're just about theoretically done, which is awesome. I'm gonna go and actually... Oh, looks like I even filled up my buckets. So yeah, I'm gonna go and plant a few more in a second here then, and I'm gonna actually start using some of that fertilizer, because as you all may remember, we do have a lot of seeds, so I feel that... What? That was weird. I feel that we can probably just go and use a bit of that fertilizer just to get the last bits and bobs of food in a little quicker, so that we don't have to wait around forever here. Now, as you can see, I mean, I've got a stack of carrots now, which is still nearly full with me eating that. Got a good bunch of tomatoes and everything, so I definitely did get somewhere in terms of food, but... You know, the more we have, the better. And after all, we need to use all these flippin' wok stakes that we have flying around right here. So that'll be the plan for this episode then, and hopefully going to be doing a bunch more of that. That's not the only idea that I have, though. Other thing that I did in between episodes, actually, and I'm kind of wondering, it's kind of weird, right? This bed is always tilted up when I get back into the game. Which is kind of weird, because I'm pretty sure it's not like that when I leave the game, but it always resets itself like that. I'm not quite sure why. It's definitely not its default position, is it? No? Nope. I really don't know why that's the case, but I have actually spent a bit of time going out on expeditions, and I think I stashed things into here. I actually did, and as you can see right here, I do have a good bunch more component kits, and I've got some of these electronic circuits, and I've got some batteries, I've got some more wok stakes, and even got some of these things. I also actually went out and got a bit more gas for this thing, so we've now got a decent stash that should hopefully be enough for our expedition, so you can really see I'm getting somewhere with the preparations. It also managed to get some potatoes that we can hopefully use then for some stuff on the cookpots, and I mean, look at that, 16 component kits even. And, well, just a bit, you know, probably time to get these things out here real quick and actually go and spread them around in our flat before we do anything else, because, as you can see, it's a lot of stuff. Another thing that I actually thought about is I've only got one bed right here. And this thing, I'm pretty sure I've already died and respawned in this bed 2 times, so that means with that one extra bed, I've only got another 4 respawns to go before I'm out of beds again. So maybe it would actually be worth just going for another, well, going for another bed, actually. I don't think I need another wall run, because this should actually be enough. Or it's actually cotton, is it? I'm not quite sure. I think it was cotton. But yeah, so I would just need a bit more wood to make this. And by the way, got a bunch more of that fuel in there still. I am also going to just make some glue out of those clamshells right away, so we've got some of that lying around. But yeah, I mean, we should probably potentially do that, so that's something to think about, I feel, for the time being. I am going to go ahead and just sort my inventory out a bit. I'll be back with you all once I'm done with that. Alright, and back I am. I'm getting a bunch better out here on my inventory, so I thought it was about time to get you all back in. But as you can see, another problem that I'm actually starting to have is I've got absolutely no clue what to do with all these electronic circuits. I've got so many of them. I don't know. I don't need this many at the moment. It's kind of mad. I also just made a bit more fuel because I actually found a bit more crude oil that I was kind of willing to get rid of. So this thing will be absolutely, nearly totally filled up. So that will last us forever, I hope. That is definitely great news. But yeah, not really quite sure, I'll have to say, what to do with all these electronic circuits. I mean, obviously, I'll start making more chests, I guess, to kind of try and stash things away somewhat, but what was that? What was that sound? That sounded pretty weird. Pretty sure that wasn't up there, was it? Nope. I really don't know. But yeah, so certainly something to kind of think about right there for the future. Maybe we'll have some builders, something that we can use this on. Now, red beets, though, are planted. Let's try and do this with 4 buckets. I'm not too hopeful, I'll have to say, but I'll try my best. So, that's one nicely used. Yep, and that's kind of my plan over with, because now I need exactly 1 more bucket of water. So, I am probably I mean, I'm going to do I need to fertilize after the fact? I think I do now. Okay, well, I'm going to go get a little bit of water, and I'll be back with you all when I'm back at the base. Alright, back I am. We are on the way back. Now, oh. Boosh! I love this game sometimes, I'm telling you all. I absolutely love it. Poor Toadbot. I'm sorry, Toe. It's so much fun, what do I say? Oh, God. Now, one thing I do remember somebody actually told me was that you can actually somehow fill up these water buckets by using the water containers, but I don't know, I have to say I haven't really managed to quite figure it out, so I don't know, I'll try and Google it, try and find out if I can somehow actually use these water containers to fill up my buckets so I don't have to go back and forth every 5 seconds pretty much. I think what I was told was that you pretty much need to point at it, or I don't quite know. I'm kind of confused. I'm really not quite sure how to do it. I'm sure I'm missing something there, so I'm going to try and Google it and find out about it. In the meantime, you know, the person that told me that, if you're down below in the comments still, and if you want to let me know, that would be greatly appreciated, because I'm not 100% sure. I'm really not quite sure what I am doing wrong there. That said, I'm going to leave the buckets up here for the time being. I'm probably just going to quickly grab fertilizer now so we can quickly grow a bit more of this and hopefully get the cooking done this episode as well. So let's just do that real quick. And there we go. How am I still at 17 fertilizer? I'm slightly confused. Is it actually not using 1 fertilizer every time I click? Are you for real? That would be mad. That would mean I've stashed away all this fertilizer and it's going to last me for like 2 bajillion years now. Oh, okay. I mean, I'll take it. I'm not going to complain about it. Let's hope that that grows quickly. Now, in the meantime, as I showed you all, we've got a huge load of component kits. So, I am not 100% sure what I want to spend it on primarily, to be honest. I mean, the seat, I don't think makes much of any sense to upgrade, like the connections +2, and then I've got settings, which I'm really not quite sure what these settings are even all about, to be honest. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't quite feel like I need it very much at all or something. If you know what those connections are about, definitely let me know down below. It would be great to know. But I'm kind of feeling that I want to push it into the engine, actually. I know I said I wanted to do the suspension before this, but given that we don't really have the stability issues with this car much at all anymore, now that like this thing got fixed thanks to Aaron, you know, I'm kind of feeling I would really like to just max out the efficiency and the potential power that we can get out of the engine. I think that probably makes the most sense. So let's just check out how it looks now, and then the change. Okay, cool. Can't really see too much of it, unfortunately, as it's that sunk in down there. But that means max efficiency for us now. This fuel's going to last us even longer. I'm going to have to mine even less fuel. Mine will collect. You guys know the deal. But yeah. Good thing right there, I think. Now, we've got 6 left, but I don't think that's quite enough to push the suspension further. We will need 4 up front, probably 4 back here. No, actually even 6 back there. That's interesting. So it's not quite balanced at the moment, so maybe that is something to work towards. But I think, you know, we can probably collect a few more of these things while we're out on our expedition and everything, so I'm not too super bothered about it at the moment. A different thing that I'm kind of wondering about, though, do I have a bit more metal? That's not really a lot, but we do have a lot of this scrap metal, and I think I could probably process a bunch of that. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to start doing that alongside. And then I'm probably going to go and try and do this last thing that I wanted to do out here. I'm not quite sure I actually told you guys yet what I wanted to do out here, so that's going to be an interesting one. But basically, my idea was to have like a tiltable cover for this thing, basically, so that the cover is down. So, I mean, basically, like we've got this controller out here, right, for this mechanism, and it does have, we upgraded a bit, so I'm pretty sure I've got the ability here on that thing, yeah, to get multiple sequences set in it. So I would attach that new thing to the controller as well, and we would have like little foldable, closable top here that would be down when this thing is down, and that would fold up when this thing folds up, so that it makes way for this thing to fold in, pretty much, if that makes sense. Now, the issue being with that is we've got to move this whole thing one further back, so I do need a bit of mats for that, but I don't think it would be too crazy overall for mats, to be honest. So yeah, I would really like to get that going real quick now while we're here and at it. So let's try and do just that. I know I do have a bunch of ember. I was kind of thinking I was running low there, but that's certainly not the case out here at the moment. I'm going to grab a bunch more of this tier 1 metal, and I'm probably just going to refine more of the scrap metal in a second. And I'm just going to spare you guys this crafting process as well, so I'll be back in like 2 minutes probably. Alright, and back I am. As you can see, I actually decided to finally spend some more component kits to upgrade the craft bot a little further. Just open up another 2 crafting slots so this thing can work along a little more while we are crafting, and that way, you know, make all this scrap metal into nice tier 1 metal. But I do think I've got enough of the tier 2 metal now to get things going for us, so let's do just that. Before I do that, though, I think I stashed away a bearing right here when tidying up my inventory, so we will take that with us. Just get another one in the queue while we're here. And, you know, if we can somehow make it through that huge mess of a flat, then we'll take care of this. So, actually, I think this is more of an annoying process than I was thinking in the first place, to be honest, because I do need to move that bearing back, and everything, all this stuff is pretty much attached to this one bearing, isn't it? Ooh, annoying. That is very, very, very annoying indeed. I'm not sure. Oh my god. Okay, good. I would love to just be able to take a screenshot or something. Of course, you guys see it now. I am, on the contrary, just going to take out my phone here real quick, and I'll just make a quick picture so that I'm aware after the fact where I need to place things, because I wanna keep this construction, but I'll have to tear it all down now. So yeah, that won't be too fun. For the time being, let me do just that, I suppose, and then we will kind of rebuild this all one layer further back. Ooh, I think that was the one that the bearing was attached to. Whoops. Okay, so I am gonna have to tear all this down, gonna have to tear all that down, gonna have to tear all that down, and we're back to 0. Good. So, oh, engine will need to be moved as well, won't it? Oh, that's a bunch of things we need to move there. Okay. Alright, I mean, I guess it's somewhat fine if we move this chest one further back. Like, what we can do out here then anyways is we'll just be pulling up 2 pillars left and right of the chest as well. This chest should be empty, and yes it is. So I will be taking this chest, I'll be moving it one further back, just like that. Then this controller, oh yeah, it's not in use anymore. Perfect. So I will need to move that anyways. The thingies stay in there, that's good. Engine, oh god, wait, if the engine needs to move, what do I need to... 1, 2, 3, 4, and the driver's seat. Okay, that shouldn't be too bad. So the engine will be moved back to there. We will firstly attach it to the driver's seat, of course, because I don't want to have this thing drive off into the abyss again. And then we will power all the axles, and I will need to watch out for these things turning the right way again, because as you can see right here, they definitely aren't. So that one's correct, that one's correct, that one seems correct, and that one is wrong. Okay, so engine moved, controller moved, chest moved. That is great, that is fine, I'm happy with that overall, I think. Now, what I'm also kind of wondering about... Wait a second. So... the bed was previously attached on this axle, wasn't it? Oh yeah, and so... I'm kind of confused. So did I end up kind of tilting the bed into the engine all the time? It kind of looks like it, doesn't it? Wait, I think I'll realign this one way or another. So we will instead put the controller further back here. And then do it like this. I think that makes more sense, so we've got a bit of space where we can tilt things in while it's here. And then we will actually... kind of confused here. I kind of am a bit confused. So let me think about this a bit in a different way. So what we will need is, of course, 2 bearings. Now we will have one bearing on which we will be tilting this cover. That bearing will sit up here though, actually. Yup. So the bearing will sit up here and the cover will pretty much cover all this here. So what we will then have going, this will be closed off. Now, if the cover is right here, the bed can only end right here. Well, at least the frame of the bed, which means that the bed itself should be sitting right here? I'm confused. No, I mean, if the frame of the bed ends there, then the bearing can be there as well. So if the bearing is right there, that should be good. So I would have the frame of the bed come out right here, just like that. And then I've got the actual bed, which is going to sit up one higher, of course. So that, like... Oh! Okay, I mean, that's a bit of an issue. Let me do things. So, firstly, let's reattach the engine. What a big mess this has become. It's becoming somewhat complex. I kind of like it, but I kind of also don't. So, these wheels need to go forwards, of course, and these wheels are already forwards. Perfect. Now, what we also need to do is we need to take this controller and tell the thing to control that with the button, and we need to, access the controller? There we go. And we will tell it that it in default should be at 0, and then once clicked, do we have it at 60 degrees? I think we did, no? Well, we're going to get it to the limit most definitely. Is it on? It is, okay. So there we go. Alright, so that should be the frame of the bed, right? So we will have this out here like that. And that will kind of be where we fit the bed into. Let's just double check that that is the actual way it will be. Yeah, it kind of looks like it. So I mean, what we will of course need is like a bed for the bed. Ha! Perfect. Okay, so if we do this, that all tilts. Good stuff. And then the bed will eventually sit on top of there and be kind of framed right there. Alright, and then we've got this thing. Now this thing is going to be the actual cover. So what I need to do is I need to take that one away so it can actually tilt in. This one can get closed off overall. And you know, I would have space to fit some smaller things in there if I needed to. So I'm going to leave that open probably. This thing here needs to go. Which, you know, kind of exposes these things from the top. But I don't think we have to worry about it too much because we'll still have the cover on top of there, so that should be good. And then what I want to have on there would be this thing. No, this is wrong. This needs to be attached to that, actually. And that would be the cover. Perfect. Now it's covered off. Now we actually, of course, always need to open it to get in, but we've actually got the cover the way that I want it now. And, you know, I can probably, hopefully, do some proper design to this eventually and everything. But what that means is that this second controller would then attach to this bearing too. Now I need to actually access that controller, and same default position pretty much of actually 90 degrees right here. Now the question is this gonna, with the speed that this turns, is this gonna fold away before this thing folds in, or is it gonna bug out? If this thing now flips and everything breaks, and rip. Let's hope it won't. It does. What the heck? Oh, it does kind of put some pressure on top of there, doesn't it? Okay, let's try and just turn this here off for a second. Will this fold properly? What? That doesn't make any sense. The bearing is right there. How does it turn the other way? I'm confused. Did I attach something here accidentally or something? If I do this, does it work? No. What? What do you mean? Oh, oh my. Oh, God. Huh? How? How did that happen? Uh-oh. Guys? Send help. Oh, boy. So I think I turned it the wrong way accidentally. The setting is wrong. Oh, God. Okay. That explains it all. That looked so weird, though. What the heck? God. I think I just nearly broke the entire vehicle with doing that. Okay, let's try and set it the proper way this time. So we want to turn it minus 60? No, minus 90 degrees then. Minus... Oh, come on. I never know how to do this. There we go. Minus 90. Does this work now? It does. Hey. That also looks kind of, you know, doable. The whole thing tilted off the flipping bearing before. I didn't even understand it. It looked as though the bearing was right here, even though it wasn't. I was so confused right there. Okay, so I think you guys see my intent now. Let's see if this actually works, though, the way that I want it to. So this thing here would have to go plus 90, and both of these would have to fold quick enough for nothing to bug out. And, oh. I forgot about something there, apparently. Yeah. That's a bit of a whoopsie. So the issue being here that we've got the top of the cockpit canopy still bumping into the folded up. I don't see much of anything we can do about that unless we move things back even one further. Which, I mean, we could move things back even one further, but that would be a whole lot more work. Wait, let me actually turn off the canopy again so we don't bug things out too much. So the issue here being, right, that we fold this up. I mean, this folds in nicely. We just have the top of the canopy then hitting this, and that's kind of not good, you know? Nothing that you want to have happen. Bit of an issue there. Bit of a bigger issue right there. I mean, if we want to make it fall long, that should not happen anymore. Question being, does it work with everything down below there? Yeah, it does. We only... or does it not? Could be that we then start tilting this thing into the engine instead. Oh my god. What a mess. What a huge, crazy, messy mess. I'm really not quite sure, I'll have to say. So, well, that's something we'll need to work on a bit more than, I suppose. But first things first. Let me get the red beads. Perfect. So, I'm going to plant a few more of these then. And we're actually going to go to the cookbot real quick and get done with that, but I'll need to think about this some more. I mean, this does mean that we need to move things all over the place again, but I don't feel like we have much of an alternative to this, so let's see. Now, the only thing I actually still need is milk, so we're not even quite done on this. I mean, we've got a lot of corn, so we'll just need to find the woks to actually give the corn to. And somebody actually told me down below in the comments last episode, thanks a lot for that, that both the woks and the glow blobs actually stay around only when you feed them. So you can actually go get your own woks, kind of box them in somewhere, and just as long as you keep feeding them, they'll stay around. So that's actually awesome to know. It means that we can hopefully have our own little kind of farm with animals too. So, you know, would actually love to get that going. But yeah, so bunch of things still on the list, I think. We definitely have to kind of fix this. I do think that I want to do the actual solution of, well, putting things one further back, and that way actually getting these this stuff to work here. But let's see about that. I think that's something we'll do in the next episode, and we'll also probably go out then and get some wok milk and make ourselves some of those nice sandwiches. And once that's done, I think we've got nothing left in the way of our big expedition. So that'll probably be happening right after that, or you know, maybe even in the next episode if we fix this rather quickly and get some milk rather quickly. So let's see about that. I'm very much looking forward to that. I hope you all are as well. But for the time being, this is going to be it for this episode. So I do hope you all very much enjoyed it. If you did, as always, please make sure to hit that like button right down below. That does always very much help the channel out. And if you're new around here and did not hit that subscribe button just yet, definitely make sure to do just that. And don't forget about that bell icon to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. That's it. As always, thank you all very much for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.